organización criminal? ¿Para qué querías el auto? ¿Por qué tenías armas largas? ¿Algo que decir? ¿Qué? ¿No entiendes español? ¿Qué pasa? Perdón.
Más pasó un moreno.
Es la sombra.
Eso. Una H.
What?
El otro por allá. ¿Dónde?
You said this one. It's gonna be one of these. Probably this one.
How should you do?
Ah, sí, sí.
You know what? Hey, hey, all I gotta say, I'm innocent. Innocent. You feel me? Look, hold on. Innocent.
Was it worth the joyride?
Innocent. Hey, was it worth the joyride? Fuck yeah, it was worth the joyride. But hey, will I do it again? Fuck no. I didn't know I was gonna have media outside.
Step on my.
Hold on. Can I get? Hold on, I'm gonna come back this real quick. Ah, shit, my ankle.
Bye.
Take it.
Oh, thank you.
They're like mine.
Get in there, Gene.
We're still screaming.
It might be someone's light.
Somebody, is that an somebody's SD card, or what is that? It's just laying up here. I want to make sure somebody's not recording.
Up there when we set up.
Okay. I want to just make sure it didn't fall out of somebody's stuff. Sure. Okay. Everybody ready? Good deal. Well, this morning was a pretty interesting morning for the men and women of the sheriff's office. While most of us were on our morning commute, myself included, coming into Commissioner's Court, was monitoring the radio as our organized crime unit and units from our patrol were heading outbound, down south, out 37, in pursuit of some armed carjacking suspects that were eventually apprehended with the help from Atascosa County Sheriff's Office and DPS. But what kicked this all off was this morning at about 6:55 a.m., a woman, our victim, was at a gas station near Fair Oaks, just pumping gas, going about her day, and she was driving a car that's on the other side of that gas island. The suspects can be seen, two of the suspects can be seen approaching in that white vehicle. One of them gets out with a mask, a yellow mask on, and then robs her at gunpoint. The victim panics and starts honking the horn. The suspect actually just ordered her to stop doing that, ordered her out of the vehicle. He was kind enough, if I use that term loosely, kind enough to allow her to take her purse and her garage door opener out of the car with her. She's able to exit the vehicle shortly thereafter, and with the help of a good Samaritan is able to get herself out of that area while the suspect got into her vehicle and then fled the location, trailing the other one. And I'll let you guys run through the rest of the video before I'll resume the story. And of course, we'll be sending this video to the desks here in just a few. That victim, obviously shaken. Thankfully, that Good Samaritan witnessed the whole thing and then helped her get out of that situation, gave her a safe haven. And thankfully, the victim was not harmed in any way. But as you can imagine, I'm pretty sure her nerves were shot, and that's understandable. The suspect in this case, that's the vehicle in question. That was the one that was taken from her. The suspect in this case was armed with this AR-15 style pistol, loaded with 300 blackout rounds. It's a devastating round that absolutely, had this guy decided to shoot her at any given time, it would have been bad, to say the least, and it would have been a devastating. So thankfully, she was not harmed in any way. The suspects left in this car. Now, unbeknownst to them, and these are the three suspects we'll be showing you. You've obviously got video of them. We'll be showing, sending you these pictures as well. Unbeknownst to them, that was actually a loaner car from a dealership. The victim's car is actually in the shop having some work done, and that purple Dodge Charger that you see was a loaner car with GPS tracking. So soon after the robbery occurred, we got the call. One of our homicide supervisors that was just on his way to work saw the vehicle based on the description and started following it. Around that same time, the dealership was also able to establish GPS tracking on the car, and we're also watching it while we physically had it under surveillance. Shortly thereafter, DPS 107, the DPS helicopter, got overhead and took over and started conducting surveillance. At a certain point, and during this time, these suspects, by their own admission, were what they call just joyriding in the car. One of them had fallen on tough times. He recently had some life changes, and as almost a direct quote, told one of his friends before they got into this situation, let's go do something effed up. So they set out to go rob somebody of a vehicle. After they left the scene, they had actually dropped off the other suspect vehicle and picked up a third suspect. Between the three of them, they were just out joyriding, driving around the city. at well in excess of 100 miles an hour. At a certain point, they spotted the helicopter, and then they decided to make a break for it. They started heading out southbound on IH-37, approaching speeds of upwards of 115, 120 miles an hour during the course of the pursuit. Our deputies were far enough to where we were out of sight, and the helicopter assumed control of the pursuit, while our partners with the Atascosa County Sheriff's Office and Texas State Troopers started to get ahead of them and started to deploy spike strips. Thankfully, after about a 60, 70-mile pursuit at upwards of 100 miles an hour, one of the troopers was able to successfully spike all 4 tires on the suspect vehicle. The vehicle was disabled, and at that point, they were taken into custody without any further incident. Thankfully, they thought better than to use this rifle or this pistol against any of the deputies, and thankfully, nobody was hurt during the course of this operation. The 3 suspects, I'm not at liberty to give you their names just yet because they have not yet been magistrated, but we will send you their information. What I can tell you is it's a litany of charges that they're looking at: unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, aggravated robbery, evading arrest in a vehicle, obliterated serial number on a weapon. So this weapon here is most likely stolen, and it's had the serial number obliterated. Esta mañana, aproximadamente casi las 7 de la mañana, una señora estaba poniendo gasolina en una estación de gasolina, en una gasolinera. Los sospechosos se le acercaron en un carro. Uno de ellos se salió de su carro con máscara puesta, y él, a punto de arma, le robó el carro a la víctima. La víctima logró sacar su bolsa y otras cosas del carro antes de huir. El sospechoso se metió al carro de ella, y entre los 2 carros, los 2 sospechosos, ellos huyeron. Un hombre le ayudó, un testigo le ayudó a la víctima a escaparse de la situación, y los 2 sospechosos se fueron. Se juntaron con otro sospechoso, un tercer sospechoso, y dejaron el otro carro que era de ellos, mientras que ellos todos se llevaron el carro robado. Lo que ellos no sabían es que el carro de ellos, el robado, tenía GPS. El carro no era de la víctima, sino que ella se lo estaban prestando, y ese carro tenía GPS. Entonces, entre uno de nuestros sargentos que logró ver el carro y empezó a perseguirlo, también al mismo tiempo pudimos ver dónde iba el carro en GPS, pero también el helicóptero de la policía estatal empezaron a perseguir el carro. Ya ellos, cuando vieron el helicóptero, ellos ya sabían que nosotros estábamos atrás de ellos. Ellos empezaron a huir, fueron al sur en la carretera 37, y entre nosotros, los oficiales de la oficina del sheriff de Atascosa y la policía estatal, los pescamos. Ahí se ve el carro, y ya ellos, ya siendo arrestados, los trajimos para atrás. Esta es el arma que ellos tenían, una pistola estilo AR-15, y ellos se enfrentan con varios cargos por tener el carro robado, por el robo armado de la víctima, pero también le quitaron los números al arma, que más que seguro que es arma robada. Entonces, estos sospechosos se van a enfrentar con varios cargos. Ahorita, aunque no podemos dar los nombres ahorita, se los vamos a mandar ya después. Any questions?
Estabas hablando del peligro de ese calibre, ¿me puedes decir?
Sí, el calibre de esta arma es 300 Blackout, que es un calibre terrible, que si este sospechoso le había disparado a esa víctima tan cerca así, más que seguro que ella hubiera fallecido a causa de ese balazo. Entonces, afortunadamente para nosotros no pasó, y lo pescamos. El trabajo que hicieron mis oficiales, pero también las otras agencias que nos ayudaron, es el mejor trabajo que yo he visto recientemente.
En la persecución estabas diciendo que iban más de 100 millas por hora y que los detuvieron por spikes, ¿me puedes decir?
Sí, ellos iban más que 120 millas por hora, y afortunadamente la policía estatal tuvieron éxito. Intentamos muchas veces parar el carro con spikes, pero ya ellos tuvieron éxito. Afortunadamente les quitaron el aire a las 4 llantas del carro, y ya ellos se pararon y se rindieron.
Sheriff, no sé si usted pudo verlos, los tres al salir se estaban riéndose, burlándose, no les importa la situación, algún mensaje que usted tenga.
Oh, sí, no, pues estos sospechosos, más les vale lo que pasó. Entonces, tan fácil así casi pudieron quitarle la vida a esta señora, más que seguro que la asustaron, y pusieron a mucha gente del público, nuestros oficiales, a riesgo de perder la vida solamente por una soncera. Entonces, para nosotros, afortunadamente, la mujer no fue herida. Afortunadamente, ninguno de nuestros oficiales fueron heridos o miembros del público. Pero afortunadamente, 3 sospechosos van a la cárcel.
¿Pertenecen a alguna organización criminal?
Ahorita no se sabe.
Hasta ahorita se sabe que han cometido otros delitos o están en investigación.
Bueno, no tenemos información tocante eso, pero sí queremos saber de dónde se robaron esta otra arma y entonces ya es posible que se vayan a enfrentar con otros cargos después.
Habías dicho de que estaba teniendo problemas y que decidieron de hacer algo inexplicable.
Sí, uno de ellos lo habían corrido de la casa y él entonces, teniendo esos problemas en la mente, él le dijo a otro amigo, vamos a hacer una cosa, algo feo. Y después de eso se fueron al norte porque querían buscar carro de lujo, carro bonito, y ellos hicieron la decisión ir al norte del condado, donde se encontraron con esta víctima, solamente haciendo lo que ella iba a hacer por el día.
Sheriff, did they pull off the weapon?
Oh yeah, they displayed it. He had it pointed in her face right there at the gas pumps. So I mean, you can imagine the terror that this poor lady must have felt. I'm glad that she maintained composure. I just, obviously I don't like to get into the business of second guessing victims, but I just, if you're in a situation like that, leave the purse, leave the garage door opener, let them have the car. At that point, you're staring point blank down a weapon that can absolutely take your life just like that. I'm glad she survived, but that wouldn't be my first advice to give somebody facing that situation. But I'm certainly, in this instance, we're all fortunate that she survived the encounter.
Due to the speeds, 110, 115, could they have killed themselves or killed?
Oh, absolutely. They put everybody in the public at risk. And that's not even the fact, before they even were engaged in the pursuit, these idiots were out, joyriding, already doing 100 miles an hour during morning rush hour. And without a care in the world. They're driving a stolen car with a weapon that's probably stolen and just out completely disregarding human life. So yeah, they absolutely put thousands of people at risk, not to include this poor victim and our first responders that just did an outstanding job. Between the 3 agencies, I'm just as proud as can be of everybody that got involved in this and got these guys off the street.
And we saw 3 people walk out, but you only put up the description of 2.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a reason for that?
No, I think we'll probably, is that the 3rd? Okay, we should have 3 up there, but we'll certainly be sending you all 3 to the news desk here shortly.
And then can you speak to the cooperation between law enforcement?
It worked out great. So I was monitoring the radio on my way in to Commissioner's Court this morning, and DPS 107 was doing a great job. The pilots are up there. They travel in a 2-man team, and obviously the pilot's doing pilot stuff, and he's doing what he needs to do. But the other, I don't know if it was a deputy or another state trooper that was up there, just doing an excellent job. I could tell he had several radios on at one time, monitoring us, talking to the agencies ahead of us. At one point, he was able to patch everybody together. I don't know what he did, but it was just an outstanding job. All the first responders in this just did a beautiful job of working together. It was great.
Sheriff, más temprano yo fui a esta gasolinera y entrevisté a un comerciante que estaba de frente. Él me dice que vio ese carro morado 2 o 3 veces por la zona. Esa mujer parece que es de la zona. ¿Cree que estos delincuentes estaban velando ese carro?
No, pues esta mujer no es aunque ella puede que es de esa área, pero el carro era prestado, no es de ella. Entonces, obviamente, ella nos dijo cuando le dieron ese carro, cuando se lo prestaron, ella no lo quería porque no quería atraer mucha atención. Obviamente es lo que pasó en este caso. Estos sospechosos vieron el carro de lujo, carro de color, entonces los atrajo a ellos, se atrevieron a robárselo a la niña, a la mujer.
¿De coche era?
Es Dodge Charger.
¿Cree que es seguro para los residentes del condado Béjar poner gasolina en una estación?
Bueno, mira, esto desafortunadamente es algo que puede pasar en cualquier parte. Ahora, esta área del condado es una parte donde afortunadamente no pasa muy seguido estas cosas, pero estos sospechosos se les puso que iban a ir a esta parte del condado porque querían carro de lujo. Entonces ellos ya sabían a qué iban ellos y desafortunadamente para la víctima esta lo encontraron.
¿Y sabe el precio aproximado del carro que se robaron?
No se sabe, pero sí es carro bien fuerte, tiene motor grande y sí nosotros podemos testificar que es carro fuerte.
Are these residents from Berry County, your suspects?
These are all three Bear County residents, is my understanding. Yes, sir. I'm not sure on criminal history on any of them, but I wouldn't have criminal history on the three of them yet, but that'll most likely be coming with their names once they're able to get you the names here later.
That first part you said in Spanish, can you say it in English?
Which part, sir? I'm sorry.
About the open gas.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I mean, look, this is a thing where I just, as much as I hate to say it, criminals don't know boundaries, right? They don't care where you are. So I'd hate to say, get gas at this part of town. Don't, shy away from this one. This is something that's liable to happen no matter where you are. Unfortunately, these guys, they made it a point. They went to this part of town because they flat out told us upstairs. They went to this part of town because they wanted to steal a fancy car. And this is, they went looking, and unfortunately they attracted the attention of this poor victim that is in a loaner vehicle. She actually commented to us that when they loaned her the vehicle, she didn't want it because it's a sports car, it's real flashy, and she was afraid to attract the wrong kind of attention. And no fault of her own, that's exactly what happened. These idiots found her, and look what they did. Thankfully, they didn't hurt her or kill her. Yes, sir.
Can you give just maybe a quick little rundown what people can do to be more aware in situations like that? Because,
Absolutely.
these kind of things happen at gas stations.
Sure, and we've seen the incidences. We're in the process of putting out some information. We've seen jugging cases go up dramatically. We've had several within rapid succession just over the past couple of weeks, jugging cases. Jugging, as you know, is a crime where they'll put you under surveillance and then they'll either rob you or burglarize your vehicle, leaving a bank, leaving a shopping center with high-dollar merchandise, whatever it may be. But it just goes to show we've got to always be aware of our surroundings. You've got to have your head on a swivel. In this instance, I would prefer, again, not to second guess the victim, but I would prefer that if you're going to go out and gas up, maybe don't go alone. If you can take somebody with you, take somebody with you. This was almost daylight hours that this happened, so I can't fault the lady with the time of the day. She's out doing her business, just going about her business, and she shouldn't have to worry about this kind of stuff. But unfortunately, this instance that she did. So what we always tell people is just always be aware of your surroundings. Check if you're being followed, if you're in traffic. Certainly never, always try to not put yourself in a situation where you're isolated. Don't ever carry large sums of cash. If you're going to go out and do business, go about your shopping or whatever it is, carry minimal credit cards, wear minimal jewelry, nothing that's going to be too flashy. I wish we lived in a society where I could say, do what you want, carry as much cash as you want, wear your flashy jewelry. Unfortunately, just the way we're seeing things developing now, we just can't do that. Okay, any other questions? All right, thank y'all so much.